Hey guys, Moms Against Medical Bullying. I just wanted to say a little bit more about the whole meningococcal thing and sepsis.
A young man is covered in a grotesque rash. The flesh on his hands and feet is turning black. Necrosis has set in. What caused this terrible infection? Would you believe leftover chicken lo mein? It happened when a 19-year-old student was visiting a friend at his dorm room in Boston. He went to the refrigerator and helped himself to some leftover Chinese food from the night before. Within minutes, he became seriously ill. A reenactment of the shocking case has gone viral on YouTube.
Immediately after eating the meal of leftover chicken and noodles, JC didn't feel well. He could feel his stomach shake and convulse.
The student was rushed to the ER. His kidneys shut down. His heart and lungs failed. The diagnosis? Meningococcal septicemia, a deadly bacterial infection. Most of his fingers and his legs below the knees had to be amputated to save his life.
So this is what they say it is, right? This bacteria going into the blood. Fever, chills, vomiting, excuse me. Dark purple rash. So, for whatever reason, in this sickness, they find this bacteria. Now, okay, so they go on to say that this condition, right, this sepsis, they say is caused by this agent here, right? And then that 1 in 10 people actually carry this agent. Who knows? What if it's more? They say about 1 in 10 people. That doesn't sound very accurate to me. That just sounds like a range. So about that many people already have this little bacteria, living in the back of their nose and throat with no sickness. So this is the contradiction of legendere. Okay, it's like, so you would think that, they call those people carriers, right? I mean, I would think that like tons of people would be ill. Like if, imagine how many people actually make out with other people. You would think that a lot of people would become ill if there are people out there carrying this, bacteria. I mean, what if this agent dwells in all of our bodies? Just like, like streptococcus and stuff. So, what if it's another condition that causes this bacteria to actually go to work? So in how it spreads, they don't say anything about it being on food. But this is what I find interesting. It says, fortunately, they are not as contagious as germs that cause the common cold. So you can't just catch it. Yeah. So this is who they say is like at risk. But it doesn't say anything about it being grown on food. So, yeah. And I just want to show you guys this article here. Unraveling a mystery. Sepsis kills more than 500,000 people in the U.S. Katie McQuestion, okay, that's not funny, a radiology technician, was feeling perfectly healthy a week before she died from sepsis. She'd had her annual shot of le flu, but still came down with the nasty le flu at the end of last December, which progressed to a pneumonia. By New Year's Day, her symptoms had capitulated from aches and chills to dangerously low temperature and rapid heart rate. All right, there you go. And that was the end of the story for her. So, it's like the answer seems to be right in front of their face in a way, but no, of course, it cannot be that. Here's another interesting article from January 4th, 2019. 25% of sepsis cases following PCV13 introduction caused by one quarter of all community-acquired sepsis cases among Swiss children were attributable to this agent shortly after the introduction of 13-valent pneumococcal shots, according to research published in Clinical Infectious Diseases. So here we go, that they acknowledged that they got this infection after this shot. And they got this sepsis. So they say pneumococcal meningitis were risk factors, okay, after this shot. So here's the trick they have up their sleeve. So it says Switzerland's Federal Office of Public Health suggested that all children aged younger than 2 years old should be given PCV-13 in 2011. The researchers examined rates of pneumococcal sepsis following the shot's introduction. Between September 2011 and December 2015, children aged younger than 17 years with blood culture confirmed pneumococcal sepsis, who had systemic inflammatory response syndrome, were prospectively recruited to the study. Importantly, our study was started in the first year of the introduction of PCV-13 into the general schedule in Switzerland. Asner and colleagues defined vaccine failure as infection caused by the shot serotype in a child who is up to date. So, to me, what that says is that they'll just say it was caused by a different, or just that the shot failed. Not that the shot did it, but it failed to prevent it. The researchers detected 117 cases of pneumococcal sepsis and a crude incidence of 2 cases per 100,000 children. Pneumococcal sepsis accounted for 25% of all community-acquired sepsis episodes, they said, and the infection had an 8% case fatality rate. Most children with pneumococcal sepsis were aged younger than 5 and did not have known risk factors for invasive pneumococcal disease. ICU admission was required for 36% of the patients with pneumococcal sepsis. Non-shot pneumococcal serotypes were responsible for most meningitis cases among children following the introduction of PCV-13. Shot failure occurred in 26% of children, and 11 of these children were infected with serotype 3. So you can see the games that they play there. 25% of sepsis cases following PCV-13 and caused by S. pneumoniae. So they introduce something foreign, and then when they see the result happen, they blame it on a bacteria, right? Because that's what they find when the person is sick. Oh, we found this, so this is the agent that causes. When in fact, they don't go back far enough because that would ruin their interest, right? Like, what caused the S. pneumonia agent to be there in the first place, or to be doing the activity that it's doing? So yeah.